Yo, what's good, everyone? Let's say we're about to get started here shortly with another episode of the Laced Up Podcast. Um, I say Rachel, she has something that she might. I think she's going to ask you guys what you think about it. I'm not entirely sure.
He's not convinced yet.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure with this one.
I think we should do hand signals for Laced Up. Like, you know how people, like, bloggers and YouTubers, they have, like, they end their show and they're like, okay, sorry, I love Charles and Alyssa, and they're like, peace. Like, that's awesome. And I said to Jonathan, we should do something cool at the very end. Just sign out for Laced Up. Laces! Is that lame? Please, somebody tell me.
Yeah, let's say, yeah, you guys tell me,
No.
what do you, yeah, let's say the whole laced up joint.
Laces, get it? Laces?
Yeah,
No.
I'm gonna say, I want to see
Don't
what you,
judge me.
yeah, see what you guys have to say about that. I was like, 'cause I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, but
You know it's cool.
yeah, I was saying, Erica, thank you for tuning in. Let's start getting a little bit more people coming in.
Erica, this is cool. Laced Up, right? Right?
Yeah, I would say we'll.
Or send us your coolest hand.
Yeah, I would say, yeah,
moves for
you
Laced Up
whatever
podcast.
you guys come up with. Yeah,
I guess it's better than whatever I had.
yeah, we'll see what we're working with, but so end up dropping the link. All right, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. No, but
What is it?
what is that?
Is that the Hunger Games? Don't they do something like that?
Is
What's the tribute?
This is like something that like an R&B like some R&B stuff that we do.
Alright, yeah, we need to start.
All right. Anyway, let me think on. All right, I respect that.
That's what Jonathan said.
Yeah, right. All right. Anyway, let's jump into the show. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Laced Up Podcast. This is your host, Jonathan Lacey, and once again, I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Rachael Lacey. Babe, tell the folks hello.
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, so today we got a nice little special episode for you guys because I know we have never really like told you guys of how we met, and like it's the a little bit of the modern day way of how we met, but yeah, like I think I don't know, I'm excited to kind of like dive a little deeper into it though, and like the method of how we met. But yeah, should we just jump like right into it?
Well, first of all, how do people feel about online dating? Do people feel that online dating works? Do dating apps, are they for real a thing? Because that's how we met. So some people think it's a total hoax. Some people think it's just a hookup site. Others are looking for a real relationship. Do marriages that come from dating apps last? What are people's thoughts?
Yeah, like and like we'll hear what you guys have to say. I know for us, we were talking about how like both of us, we were coming out of a pretty sticky relationship, both of us, really, like, and I know
More so you than I.
Yeah, well, I mean, because how long had it been though?
A little over a year.
A little over a year?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it had been a little over a year, and I know for me, in that January, before I met Rachel, I was in a relationship with another female, and like, like things to me, I thought were going good, but I think also I had blinders on, and I had tunnel vision for seeing what I wanted to be able to see. But yeah, like Liberty University was about to start up their winter semester, and so of course, I was excited. Went and bought this girl some flowers and everything. Like I was excited to to see her, and then we went on a date and everything that night. And then later on, like at 10 o'clock at night, I get a phone call from her saying like, hey, I think we need to just be friends and stuff. And so basically ended up getting dumped. And of course, you know, I did all this stuff, and I just didn't know what was the real reason behind of why she broke up with me. But moving on, like 2 days later, one of my best friends, like, you know, RIP Caleb, you know, he ended up, you know, killing himself, unfortunately. And like that really like messed your boy up. And like if you knew me at that time, like I was on campus, on Liberty campus, just breaking down any given second, and you know, it was just going through a rough patch. And you know, of course, like me being me, like I just wasn't really ready to get back into a relationship, you know, but took a few months off from that, and then I got back on Tinder, of course, because you know that's where everybody meets their significant other. You know, Rachael and I, we ended up matching. And sorry if you can hear the dogs right now, that's annoying, but you probably hear the Great Dane. But anyway, yeah, like it's frustrating because, all right, do you wanna go? Right.
John got frustrated.
Yeah, I was saying because the dogs.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna circle around and kind of give you my frame and kind of where I was at the time. So at that point in time, I had been out of relationship for a little bit. And I'm, for those of you who don't know, I'm from New Hampshire. And I was going to Liberty University in Virginia. I had come back to school there. But I was fully independent. I was working full-time, going to school full-time, living by myself. It was wonderful. And like Jonathan said, I had been out of a relationship. My relationships were pretty long. I dated a high school sweetheart for quite a while, and then I got to college and had a college boyfriend, and we dated for over a year and a half. And then before I met Jonathan, there was probably a little bit about close to a year, or a little over a year before diving back into something. So I was actually really ready to get back on the dating field and get back. I was ready to meet somebody new, somebody to perk my interest. So just like Jonathan, your girl was on Tinder too. But the thing about Tinder and being in a college town, mind you, it wasn't just Liberty University. There are 4 colleges around us. So there was Lynchburg College, there was Liberty University, CVCC, and what's that other one? The ritzy one in downtown.
Randolph.
Okay,
Yeah.
Randolph College. So mind you, people, there is 4 colleges in one town. There's a lot. The dating pool was huge. And either people were looking for a date or people were looking to hook up.
Yeah.
And it was either or. And if you didn't want that, then you said, hey, I'm just looking for a date. Just looking to meet somebody. And if you wanted to hook up, then you could go do your thing.
And sometimes that wasn't even good enough for some people.
So I was looking for something real. I know people can laugh and judge me for looking for something real on Tinder, but that's what I was doing.
And you know, like, and of course, you know, when we met,
we did match.
Like, yeah,
we both swiped.
Yeah, both of us ended up swiping right. And so that was
like early March.
Yeah, it was like early March.
And
so,
we talked for a while. We just like sent messages back and forth for a good while.
We talked for about 2 weeks, maybe
2 or 3 weeks, because I went to New Hampshire real quick because I was about to start a full-time job with Liberty. It was like my first big girl gig. That was like full-time, benefits, vacation time. And I wanted to go see my family one more time before I was limited to that. So while I was at home, you were talking to me the whole time.
Yep.
And I was just like, well, I'm in New Hampshire. When I get back, like, let's go out. Like, that sounds good.
And so, and fellas, and lady, I know I'm gonna get judged hardcore on this because I know still to this day, Rachel still gets on me. They can't believe I did this.
I'm still upset.
So I like in my mind, coming from where I was coming from. All right, like I had just come out of a relationship with that. You know, like this was 2 months after, and of course, even trying to get my foot back out there. Like I was a little weary, and I didn't want to go all out for somebody that was going to be there that I didn't know if it was going to be there for
Obviously,
a long time. Yeah, if I didn't know it was going to be there for a long time, or there's going to be temporary. And so we ended up going to. I said, hey, let's go to Cookout. I said, let's go to Cookout.
For those of you who don't know what Cookout is a fast food restaurant in the middle of Lynchburg where all the college kids go. It's good food, good milkshakes, but really, Cookout, really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you was.
I am, for those who don't know me, I am just a little bougie. Like, not a lot, not high maintenance, just a little. I'm better than Cookout. Like, I'm definitely better than Cookout.
Right, and like and I picked up on that, of course, after we got to know each other and stuff. But coming into it, I was just like, all right,
I'm not gonna spend money on this girl.
Right. Yeah, because I was just like, dude, if she's gonna be here for a short amount of time, just temporary, I wasn't gonna put out some big bucks, man.
No big deal. $10 is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't even pay for the first
thing. I tried. No, don't even try to do that. I tried to pay for it, and he was like, "Yeah, let's say your independent self was like, no, I got it." And part of that was just being petty. Anyway,
probably because we were going to Cookout.
Yeah, so
I probably was being petty.
Whatever. So then, then you told me.
Yeah, because I was not impressed that we were going to Cookout. I had a problem with it. So I said, well, Jonathan, this is a big line, people. This is a big line. So I said to Jonathan, after we ordered our food, because I was not about to sit awkwardly in the middle of Cookout and on a first date and let all these college kids stare at us, because it was weird. We hardly even knew each other. So I said, well, do you want to go on an adventure with me? And he kind of looked at me funny. And he goes, well, what do you mean by that? And I was like, well, why don't you just hop in the car with me and, like, let's just take a drive. Like, do you trust me? Like, do you want to go on an adventure? And what'd you say?
I said, I guess so.
And so you hopped in the car.
Yeah, I hopped in the car.
Because I couldn't let him drive because I had to be in control of where we were going because I still didn't know if you were a creeper.
I didn't, and I thought you was going to be a creep when you told me that at first and stuff, but... You know, I don't know. That took me a lot to trust you right there because I was just like,
this girl.
Yeah, I didn't know some Get Out stuff was going to happen.
So we went up to, everybody probably already guessed it, we went up to Liberty Mountain, which is super easy to get to from Cookout. It's 5 minutes down the road. And like Liberty Mountain is like just a space for me to like clear my head and think correctly. And anytime I was going through something or just trying to think through something, I would go up there. So it was perfect. It was right at sunset. So we went up there. We ate our food at the top of the mountain and we watched the sunset and just had great conversation. We just talked back and forth and really started to get to know each other. And yeah.
Yeah, like we... And like kind of fast forward and stuff, you know, like Rachel and I, we were talking. We talked for about, I don't know how many months. Like it was March, April, May, and June. So yeah, about like three or 4 months.
Yeah.
And so, and to be fair, you know, like I had a lot of feeling that I had to do, and I think, like, in the beginning, of course, like, you were really upset.
Well, because I had been waiting. I was ready to be in a serious relationship. I didn't want to play no games. I told you exactly what I was looking for. In my past relationships, had been strung along, played with, and I wasn't about to do that again. So I was trying to protect myself from getting hurt again. Because in my past relationships, the men always left me.
Right.
I was always... abandoned, I felt.
And I respect that. And like like the thing that kind of like frustrated me though, the big thing, like, and fellas, you probably gonna understand where I'm coming from when I say this, like, when you have a friend of the female, like, chirping in their ear, basically saying that I'm leading them, like, basically leading them on, and I get that, like, you want to be a protective friend, and you don't want them to, you don't want that guy to hurt them, and I completely understood that, but, like, I just felt like if that person had a problem with that, well, I wish they had just, like, you know, out of respect, like, come talk to me face to face, like an adult, and, like, I think things, like, would have, if you could have just heard where I was coming from, things could have been different. Things could have been different with that, and, like, and I wish that had happened instead of just, like,
me losing a friend.
You losing a friend, because I just felt like that was, like, that's literally all it was. You just had to just reach out, just talk.
So shout out to that friend that was lost, because, ladies, I'm sure that that's happened where you've had friends and your boyfriend or male partner at the time felt offended or defensive towards that, and I'm sure plenty of us have lost good people, good friends, good relationships in the past, so it does go both ways. Both sides were wrong.
Yeah, I just wish things, like, we could have, like, just talked it out like an adult, and things I think would have been better. But, like, moving on though, I it was like June, and I remember Rachel was, like, just ripping into me, saying, you know, like, how I needed to get my shit together, basically. And then after she finished ripping into me, I was just like, all right. I said, I was going to ask you to be my girlfriend, and she was about to let me have it again, and then she stopped herself and said, huh? And so then, of course, you know, like, once she finally realized that I was basically saying, like, you know, I want you to be my girlfriend, you know, like, things, like, she just, I don't know, like, it was like an emotional moment, and, like,
yeah, because I wasn't playing around.
Right.
I didn't want this little boy who couldn't take care of himself.
Right.
So I was telling you what's up, like, you need to have life goals. You need to figure yourself out. Like, you need to love yourself before you can love me. Like, you needed to figure that out. You needed to get your finances together. You needed to get your head right. You needed to get a good job. Like, those things are important. And like I said, I had been in playful relationships. I had been in relationships where the guys weren't going anywhere. I wasn't going to be that girl. I wasn't going to be this one to fully support their family. I didn't want to be the head of the household. I needed a man. So at that point in time, I was ripping into you because it was either right then and there, you're going to step up or you're going to step out, and I'm done.
Right.
So it was either or. That was the deciding factor. You either get your shit together or I'm out, because I'm not playing games with you.
And, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I totally respect that and stuff. And it was so funny because, like, I took it on the chin, guys. Like, I just took it, yo. But
it's probably for the better.
But yeah, it was for the better, and I'm just so glad that, you know, that happened. And
but I wasn't asking you to do it alone.
No, I know, and I
that's
never
the
thought
difference.
that. I never thought that for a second.
In relationships, guys, I never asked Jonathan to do any of this on his own or to fix everything on his own. Like, I was 100% willing to be behind him, holding him up, pushing him forward. Like, when I was ripping into him, that phrase is not a negative. It was a positive, trying to motivate him to better himself. It wasn't bettering me. It was bettering Jonathan for who he was and who he could be, because I believed in him. It wasn't out of selfish ambition, but it was because I knew he could be better.
Yeah. And, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I think, like, definitely a man needs that strong woman that is going to be there, like, in his corner, you know, like, no matter the decisions. Like, and now, fellas, if you're making a stupid decision and your wife is sitting there telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear, then I don't know. I just beg you to kind of just go back and just reevaluate, not like the whole relationship, but, like, I would say like just
take a step back.
Yeah, take a step
and
back.
Breathe and
Yeah,
look.
because like if there's no healthy boundaries for honesty, where somebody can't take the you know, can't take some type of like constructive criticism, then like you just need to take a step back, like Rachel was saying, and just reevaluate yourself and ask yourself, how can I approach this from a better perspective?
How can we make us better?
Right.
It should always be about us. We, team, building.
Right.
How can we be better? How can we make our relationship improve? How can we come at this as one unit?
Right. And so like I want to say too though, like kind of just with the whole dynamic of just dating apps in general and stuff, like you got Tinder out there, you got
Plenty of fish.
Yeah, what is
There's
it?
that
Bumble.
Bumble. There's that Facebook dating stuff.
Yeah, and so like that's the thing. Like a lot of these dating apps today are mostly used for hookups, mostly. But there are a few people who go on there with the attention of like, hey, I want to go find my soulmate out there, and I think that's the only reason why really, like you and I, actually made it work, because we were coming from a mature perspective. Like both of us wanted, like, hey, we wanted something long term and not just like a hookup. Like we wanted something.
And guys, we didn't kiss on the first date.
Nah.
We didn't even kiss on the second date. We didn't kiss on the third date. Yo, we waited at least a week or so after 3, 4, maybe 5 dates. I can't fully remember.
No.
Sorry.
No, but yeah.
Like, there was, sure, we held hands or we cuddled, but like there was no physical anything until about 4 or 5 dates in, because we both said we weren't there for a hookup. We weren't there for just the physical side of things. We really wanted to get to know each other. We wanted to get to know who each other were. I don't give that sort of stuff away just for granted. Not that you have to earn it, but I think that physical intimacy comes with trust and respect, and I think you should at least know the person a little bit before you just make out with them, is my personal opinion. Others may feel different.
Yeah, because I don't know, like, and too, like with all these dating apps, I just feel like it's just another way of how our culture just views dating, quote unquote dating.
That could be a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, like as like hookups. They view it as like a hobby, like literally, and I'm not gonna say the person's name, but I had a teenager in my office today, because I work in a high school. All right, so you can imagine like all this, like literally, it's just crazy of the stuff that you will hear of how a lot of people like kids today view dating. Like it's interesting, but it's sad. But it's interesting because you hear like, oh my gosh, like they really view dating as something that, basically they feel like they have to give that person themselves as like, being intimate. And I'm just saying like that.
They're babies.
Yeah, like you're baby. You don't even know what you're doing, dude.
Your
like,
frontal lobe hasn't even developed yet.
Yeah, yo. Like you don't even know what you don't know what you're doing, dude.
That's
like,
such a true thing. That's a real thing.
And like that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people, like, we get into the habit of like, like we just kind of like throw ourselves at people because like we're afraid to be alone, and I know, like, I asked the person this today. I asked him, I said, hey, are you afraid to be alone? And at first, he said, no, I'm not. Like, try to be hard. And then I looked at him. I gave him the face, like, bruh, like you, Like you lying, dude. And so then he was like, of course I'm afraid to be alone, And so like, it's just like I think like a lot of us we like today just date just numbly, like we don't even think about it. Like it's just
what can we get out of the relationship?
Yeah, like you just like it's like a pit stop basically, and multiple rebounds. And so like I don't know, like it's just sad. But the question that we're trying to answer though, like can you use dating apps to find your significant other? Absolutely. With the right
intentions.
Yeah, with the right intentions and with the right mindset.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. I do believe so, but there's so many people that aren't using them correctly or are just looking, like it's really hard to find diamond in a rough. And like another example of people who found a diamond in rough is, so as we were dating, Jonathan had this mentor already. Shout out to Brandon Reed. And Jonathan introduced me to Brandon and his wife Tabitha. And they instantly became our mentors. So those of you who have not seen Jonathan and I, Jonathan's black, I'm white, killing it. We believe in diversity and interracial couples?
Yeah, interracial, yeah.
I was gonna say biracial couples, but that's our baby coming, so that's fine. But like, Brandon and Tabitha are also an interracial couple. Brandon's black, Tab's white. So for us, that gave us a positive role model, positive mentorship, and they understood everything and anything, pretty much everything that we were going through or had gone through. Brandon and Tabitha had done it before us or had done it first, and they are some of the most patient, understanding, forgiving people that I know. And
no doubt.
Jonathan and I we make mistakes just as any real people do, and there was Brandon and Tabitha to help pick us up, dust us off, talk about it, work through it with us, and I would say Brandon and Tabitha are part of the reason why we're still together.
I want to say this too. Like, I'm glad you brought them up, guys. If you know you're gonna be with somebody that you're gonna marry, like, I highly recommend doing marriage counseling even before you guys are like engaged, because
we did,
and
it was the best thing.
Like I think like it really prepared. Well, we had tough talks. Like there was multiple times, like on the way home, like yeah, like we would just go back at each other and say, why'd you say this in there? Why'd you like just going back and forth with each other. But
Brandon and Tab helped us work it out.
Yeah,
like, they literally, not mediators, but just gave us each other's perspectives. Like, if Jonathan was saying something and I didn't understand and it was in man language, like Tabitha could translate to me what Jonathan was saying, so I understood it in a female way, and then I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. So it's not necessarily that they were mediating between the two of us. Basically, they were translating man and woman talk to each other, and maybe feelings or questions that we weren't understanding or going deep enough or expanding on. They gave us the tools to build and work through those things.
Yep. And like I highly recommend it, guys, because
well, we probably had 10 or 12 sessions with them.
I think
at
so.
Least.
Yeah. Like, and they were good. They were good sessions to have, man, because like it kind of put us in a situation where we had to have those tough talks
and be honest.
Yeah. And it was definitely a blessing, because
we built lifetime friends with them. Lifetime friends. And in the really, really good days, Brandon and Tabitha are the first ones we want to talk to and tell. When we found out we were pregnant, they were the first ones that we wanted to reach out and share our news with. When we were going through the worst parts of our lives together, and we're going through the trenches in the most difficult days, we would call Brandon and Tabitha crying. individually and together. And you know who was there to hold our backs through the entire thing? Brandon and Tabitha. Not one day did they judge us, not one day did they pick on us, not one day, but they always surrounded us in love and compassion and gave us a place to sleep if we needed it, gave us food when we needed it.
Yep.
And you know, like, that is really hard to come by.
Facts. And that's
So
facts.
mentors were huge in our relationship. They're still big. We still check in with them. They mean the world to us, and I can firmly and strongly say that we would not be here together without them.
And like, I want to just say this too. Put yourselves around the people, like where you want to be at in life. Put yourselves around those people. Ask those people questions. Like, if you want to be you want to be a teacher, you know, put yourself around a teacher that you really look up to. If you want to be married you really want to be married and have a good marriage, put yourselves around people who have a good marriage, and so that's been married for 60 plus years. You know, like do the little things like that, guys. You know, like I really want to end on that, but yeah, like just do the little things like that, guys, because I think you're gonna realize how much and how far it's gonna just take you. But with that being said, guys, like thank you guys for listening to the podcast today. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys, and guys, I got a good list of people coming up, and speaking of Brandon's actually going to be joining me too for a podcast episode. So really make sure you guys tune in for that. But with all that said, guys, I love you guys. Stay laced up. All right. So guys, like for the people that that tuned in tonight, thank you guys for coming out and showing support. Love you guys, and trust me, like I got some good people. I got some people coming on, man, that I think you guys are really going to appreciate. One of them too, I'm just going to tell you, his name is Jay Barnett. He's actually he works in mental health, like for men, and he's been like on the Breakfast Club and like all these other like big name shows and stuff, man. So God really blessed me with that, man. So make sure you guys look him up for yourselves. Like you'll see what I'm talking about. And so, but yeah, like you guys definitely are gonna be in for a treat. All right, but with all that said, stay laced up.